Am I the asshole for leaving a pregnant woman outside? Okay, so I, 19F, I'm autistic, and my sister, 30F, asked me if I could come over to her house to babysit her while she and her husband went out on a much needed date night. I have some reservations about this, and I've never supervised the kids alone. She usually brought them to my parents' house, and my parents mainly watched them while I did my thing but also kept an eye on them and kept them entertained. However, my sister assured me that all will be well, and she'll write me a list of instructions to follow and it will be easy. I asked if I could have a friend over with me, but she said no, and under no circumstances am I allowed strangers in her house. Anyways, 3 hours in, and a pregnant lady comes knocking, and she was distressed, looked like she wasn't feeling well, told me she's the next door neighbor and that she forgot her keys at home and has no place to stay until her husband comes back. She also told me that she's dizzy and not feeling well. I felt very conflicted. On one hand, I didn't know this woman and wasn't sure if she was telling the truth about being my sister's neighbor, so I didn't think letting her in was an option. I called my sister many times to ask permission to let this woman in, but she didn't pick up. On the other hand, I didn't feel comfortable leaving her in that state outside in the cold. I tried calling my parents too, but they didn't pick up. I was basically left to decide on my own. I brought out a chair to the porch and told her she can sit there and wait for her husband if she'd like. I also offered her some water and food, but she politely declined and decided to wait outside her house. She proceeded to wait 2 hours till her husband came back, and I saw her crying at some point. I felt so bad, but I felt like my hands are tied. I tried calling my sister and my parents many times, but no one picked up. When my sister came home later that night, I told her what happened, and she lashed out on me, calling me an idiot and saying when she told me not to allow strangers in, she didn't think that she needed to tell me her 7-month pregnant neighbor in distress was an exception to the rule. My parents also later reprimanded me on taking everything so literally and being an idiot. Am I the asshole? Update. Since everyone is asking why she didn't go to another neighbor, well, I'm not sure why exactly. I'm gonna explain the layout of the house in my sister's neighborhood a bit. So basically, there are 3 houses that are close to each other. My sister's, the pregnant woman's, and another house. There are more houses down the road, but they are kind of far behind, within walking distance, but she wouldn't be able to see her husband pull up from there. I think maybe that's why I didn't know. I don't know, but it is possible that she went to the other house near us and got turned down there before she came to me. I didn't ask her.